We are ready.
All right, I'm going to call to order the town board meeting at the Town of Lisbon Town Hall on Monday, January 11th, 2021 at 6:36 PM. Roll call, please.
Chairman Osterman,
Here.
Supervisor Moonen,
Here.
Supervisor Beal. Here. Supervisor Plotecker. Here. We also have Administrator Kathy Nicholas and Clerk Elisa Capazzo to record the minutes.
Excellent, thank you. Stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right. Item 4 is comments from citizens present. Does anyone wish to make any statements? Sir, if you'd step up, just state your name and address for the record, please.
Hi, Doug Clark, N48 West 27214, Highway JK, Pewaukee, Wisconsin 53072. I just have more of a few questions than anything. Two things. One regards to the Leeds property. And excuse me, I'm nervous because I never spoke before.
We're just your neighbors. Just talk to us like we're your friends. It's no big deal.
I guess I was wondering how, because I'm not up on this, I didn't know how the town obtained the property. And you can answer this in your number 10 old business. Just was how the town obtained it. And then I noticed in the budget that the charges for engineering on it were roughly $12,000. And why, instead of charging $1 for what I can assume is at least $1 million property, that we wouldn't charge at least the 12 to recover the engineering costs that the town is paying. And then if the town had ever thought about auctioning the property, and then or doing a land swap, and I could talk about that.
If you want to stick around until after the meeting, there's no agenda item really to address a lot of those questions. I'd be
Okay.
happy to give you an update on everything. It's kind of a long discussion.
Okay.
It's not an easy answer to give, but if you want to stick
Okay.
around to after the meeting, I can have a discussion with you on it.
Yeah. And so I guess I would just ask that maybe the decision on whether to complete that transaction would wait until after the planning meeting, which is, I think, on Thursday,
The Plan Commission.
the plan
Sure.
commission meeting. So it applies to that meeting also. So, and then the second thing was, since we're under a national emergency, and in fact, I think we're under 2 of them right now. I noticed that in the change of the CUP document, that the quarry, any quarry is, the operating hours can be adjusted by the town. And I was wondering if that's something that you guys need to discuss or not. The first, today there was an executive order signed 13595, and that put us under national emergency. And then I believe 2 years ago, executive order 13848 or 484, I think it's 848, 13848. The president also put us under a national emergency in those 2 executive orders. So just wondering if that's something that you guys have to review, because I saw it in the CUP documents. So, okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Does anyone else wish to speak on our citizens' comments? All right.
Move on to item 5 then, which is appointment of Doug Brom as town supervisor number 1 to fill the vacancy for the term ending in 2022. This should actually say discussion necessary action. So we're going to call it a Scriber error, I believe. Scriber error, excuse me. Second time I made that mistake today. There is intent there to discuss this as a discussion and action point, not just to appoint. But I am recommending Doug Brom to be appointed to the supervisor position number 1, to fill Tadia's term, which ends in April of 2022.
I second.
I guess we'll put that in a motion. And Wendell, second, discussion.
We thank you. We need you.
Shouldn't he give up and get up and tell us all his qualifications? No? Okay.
That won't take long.
I'm just teasing.
I think it's just citizen and a voting age.
Yeah.
He has a pulse.
Water mirror, yeah.
All right, having no other discussion, all those in favor, actually, in this instance, the administrator can vote in this if she chooses. It's an appointment. You're going to vote?
Yep.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Kathy, would you do the honor of,
I state your name,
I, Douglas Braun,
was been appointed to the office
was been appointed to the office
of Town Board Supervisor 1,
of Town Board Supervisor 1.
swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
I swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin.
and will faithfully and impartially
I will faithfully and impartially,
discharge the duties of said office
I will discharge the duties of said office
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability,
So help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Yep.
Up here now?
yep, he's now on the board. So let the record also show that Doug Brom is now present as
You've been named for-
town board supervisor
Yeah,
number
look
1.
at this.
Look at that.
I know Tadia also shares her congratulations. She was going to try and be here tonight just to kind of say goodbye, but she had something, she had another family dealing she had to deal with tonight, so.
Thank you.
All right, item 6 is administrator report. So it was
Okay, so I put the administrator's report in the packet. I do want to make a change. The treasurer stated today that we have 70% of all the property taxes already have been collected. We are working on the pre-audit, which is set for this Friday, as well as first settlement. And we have a loan payment the same day. The town collects taxes through January 31st, and all tax payments after that are made to the county. Parks, Mike has been working on plowing with Public Works and preparing for Winterfest and the ice, and working on the ice rink. The Parks Committee met and approved their 5-year plan, which will be discussed later tonight. The Parks Committee is also working on a 9/11 event for this year. Public Works, I wanted to make comment that Joe has been appointed the president of the County Public Works Association for 2021, so he'll be serving in that capacity. Fire Department, their stats, there were 56 medical calls, 40 interfacility transports, 8 fire calls, 12 well-being checks. The sheriff's stats, we have 251 calls in December, 79 were traffic stops, 55 citations were written, 44 verbal warnings, and 19 written warnings were given. There was also 17 9/11 hangups. Currently, the clerk is working on the initial conversions and planning. She's taking the initial conversations in planning, starting the prep for the February election as well. Teaching everyone how to do badge books. There's going to be a new process for all of our polling places. Your laptops are ready. They're all in front of you now. The first time you get in, you can change your password. The AV upgrade has been complete here in Town Hall. Training has been given to the clerk. AV in the community room at the fire station has been complete. We had a short training. We had more questions than answers, so more intense training will follow. We'll be holding our plan commission meetings in the community room starting February. That'll help us with our social spacing. The new credit cards have arrived for each department. Each credit card has been limited to $3,000. The administrator's card is limited to $100,000 as we pay some of our larger bills through that credit card. I have a meeting set up with the department heads to go over expectations and have them sign their new card for their new cards on the 18th. Attached is a draft letter to the employees concerning the raise the board approved, a collection of EEO information, and a questionnaire on the Christmas party versus summer picnic. Open records requests for information concerning the property on Top of the Hill Drive, which received a non-compliance letter due to having large 18-foot poles holding the sheets as a screen. The request has been complete. So on the next page, you'll see that's a draft letter because I wanted to get some input on from the employees. The EEO needs to be filled out due to the fact that we are accepting a grant once it comes in, a CDGB grant, which is federal funds. It's required for the town to put together this EEO form, which is going to require me to ask every one of our employees what their race is, because we have not collected that in the past. So that's what this letter is about. And then the form is next. And so if you could fill out the form yourselves because you're considered employees and leave it here for us, appreciate it. Your preference for the Christmas party dinner, which you've been doing at the golf course, or try to change it up and do a summer picnic, family picnic held at one of our town parks that would allow our snow plowers to not worry about snow plowing in the middle of our Christmas dinner, or our firefighters may be able to attend more. So that's my report. Any questions?
Yes, I do, a couple. Is it 3,000 and 100,000, Kathy? Is that what we've always had?
No, we had all together, we had 15,000. Every credit card put together, we had 15,000. If you remember, I brought this to the board, said that I was going to do some analysis on changing up the amounts. We'll know more on how much we can pay with credit cards. The department heads are going to pay, and we can make that adjustment. But I wanted to keep it low for at the beginning. I mean, for the administrators, $100,000. That was 15,000 across the board. So all of our credit cards together once a month could only add up to 15,000. This gives us more ability to gain a rebate back at a higher level.
Okay. And how much is that grant for the, for getting all the information?
This 250,000 CDGB grant for our roads on the Leeds property.
Great, thank you.
I do have a question about the 100,000 limit. I think the other ones are fine, but my only question would be, would that be in any conflict with our insurance liability limits?
I
Or
can check.
bonding-
I
or
can
bonding
check, but
Or
it
limits.
bonding
should,
limits?
I can check on it.
Okay. The reason we in the past had that amount set was because of issues we had in the
Right,
past, obviously. So it was we'd worked closely with our auditors at the time, trying to establish limits. But things have changed because now we're trying to get basically rebates back on if we're paying for
On
some of our
regular
bigger
things.
bills.
Right.
Mhm,
And if we're allowed to do that, then this is a good thing, but we'll just have to make sure everything else is
mhm.
Right.
in
Good
place.
idea.
So we had, at my former position, we would put our advanced disposal on. Now advanced disposal changed, but we had, so if you're putting on $68,000 on one swap, that's why it's that high. It's not that the credit card goes out for anything else other than bills that come in normally.
No, and I'm fully trusting of the card holders. I just don't trust the people that are trying to defraud the town. And I want to make sure we're covered in case that does happen.
Okay, I will check on that, and I will send an email to everyone tonight, so then you know I checked on it.
And we won't be charged anything more if you use a charge though. And
If-
sometimes companies do that.
Absolutely, and every one of them we check to see if there's going to be an upcharge.
Okay.
Some of them give us a little bit of a break for having an account and then paying the account by check. So some companies do that, but yes, if there's an upcharge, we're not going to do that. That's not the intent of the credit card. The intent of the credit card is to reduce the cost of
Mhm.
our bills, not increasing.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions on the administrative report? Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you.
Item 7, supervisor reports.
I have a quick question though. Maybe because I know that the fire department is here, can we maybe move Michelle's down, up so we can do that and then go on to our schedule?
Yeah, let's just get through the 8 and 9 here and then we can do that.
Okay. I have nothing to report.
Okay.
We have our meeting next week.
Anything from anyone else? No? All right. Item 8 is discussion and approval of the minutes of the 12/14/2020 town board meeting. I was not there, so I will
I
recuse
will make
myself.
a motion that we approve the minutes from the town board meeting on December 14th, 2020.
I second.
All right. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
You and Doug?
I said aye.
Okay. Opposed? Motion carries 4-0. All right, item 9 is the upcoming meetings and events. We have the Planning Commission and joint public hearings on Thursday, January 14th at 6:30 at the Town Hall. The next Planning Commission meeting after that will be the one moved to the fire station, just so everybody's aware of that. So this one at the Town Hall, next one at the fire station. Item B, the Parks Committee, Monday, January 18th at 6:30 at the Richard Young Fire Station. Then the Sanitary Sewer District number 1 meeting, Wednesday, 1/20 at 6:30 at the Town Hall. And then the next town board meeting on the 25th at 6:30. And that will also be at the Richard Young Fire Station.
Yes.
So our next board meeting will also be at the fire station. And then Winterfest will be February 6th from 1 to 4 p.m. at the Lisbon Community Park. So let's hope for a bunch of snow. Hopefully it sticks around or we get some more. And does anyone else have any upcoming meeting or events to know?
Did we have a cancellation date on the 2/6 date? I think we had an alternate date last year and in years previous for the
I'm not aware.
Winterfest.
I didn't hear it.
Okay.
I know there was mention of it, but I don't think there was a specific date.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if was it 2 weeks after their
Yeah, I don't remember.
number.
I'll check with Tracy.
Okay. All right. Then I will move up we'll skip over old business for the moment, move up item 11B, which is the swearing in of Michelle Drager as the interim fire chief. And I've asked that our new supervisor would swear in our new interim chief.
Can I just do a little introduction and a little
Absolutely.
background?
Sure.
So Michelle is the current deputy chief, one of the current deputy chiefs of the fire department. She's been on the fire department for 17 years, 11 years full-time. She has firefighting certification, MPO certification. She's a critical care paramedic. She has a degree in paramedic. She's an instructor, certified instructor. She's been pretty much involved in most of all the administrative things of the fire department for the last 10 years. She has taken a part-time position in the beginning and then became full-time. She's very dedicated. On December 28th, the Fire and Police Commission met and she submitted her resume, and then they reviewed it and unanimously decided to make the appointment for her to be the interim chief. So,
Excellent.
now I get to raise your right hand. I state your name.
I, Michelle Drager,
Having been appointed to the position of interim fire chief
have been appointed to the position of interim fire chief
with the Town of Lisbon Fire Department,
with the Town of Lisbon Fire Department.
swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
Swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin.
that I will obey the ordinances of the Town of Lisbon
I will obey the ordinances of the Town of Lisbon
and the County of Waukesha,
and the County of Waukesha,
and will uphold the rules and regulations of the Town of Lisbon Fire Department,
and will uphold the rules and regulations of the Town of Lisbon Fire Department,
and will faithfully discharge the duties of my position to the best of my ability.
and will faithfully discharge the duties of my position to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Doug, and congratulations, Michelle.
Yeah.
All right. We will then move back to item 10, old business, which we have a discussion and possible action regarding amendments to previously approved letter of intent from Bryan Building regarding the LEAP development. First, we'd have to have a motion, I believe, to reconsider this item.
I'll make a motion to reconsider from last meeting.
Mark Moon moves to reconsider. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Becky. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Did you vote on one, Doug?
I did,
You did. Motion
I did.
carries 4-0. You didn't.
I did
You
vote.
did.
I gotta admit though, my background in this is pretty not up to speed yet,
Sure.
just saying.
Well, I'm going to try and make this easy on everybody. I'm going to ask that we postpone this end of the next meeting. We got some information this morning and there's just not enough time to get over. A lot to go over and things. So
Okay,
is there a motion to postpone?
I make a motion to postpone.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mark Moonen. No discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Thank you. That's why that one was going to go real easy tonight. All right, item 11 then, departments, boards, and committees and commissions. Discussion and approval of the 5-year park plan 2021 to 2026 adopted 12/22 by the park committee.
So the Park Committee has adopted it as mentioned. They did make some changes to our, to the population projections and then reviewed our growth areas. The committee did work with our planner. So then we had a thorough review of our expectations of our future parks.
Questions or comments from the board?
No, I know they worked really hard on it.
Is there a motion on this?
I'll make a motion to approve the 5-year park plan 2021 through 2026, adopted on 12/22/2020 by the park committee.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Becky. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Item 12, new business. A, discussion and possible action regarding the proposed 2021 through 2023 Baker Tilly contract.
As you can see, we received the contract for the 3 years. I'm asking for the board to table. I already had it on the agenda, and then as I reviewed it, I didn't feel we had good enough explanation of the increase of $1,500 within 2 years or 3 years.
Any questions before we make that motion?
Yeah, on the 10 journal entries
Mhm.
to exceed, do they give notice before such event would occur? Or do they just continue on with their process and charge us at the end?
Well, this was the first contract I've seen that they gave audit entries in their contract.
Okay.
In my former position, every audit entry was a $200 hit. So it was important that we got that down to, close to zero when you're getting it. So I was surprised they gave us 10. I've not seen that in a contract prior, so
I couldn't remember if our last contract had 10.
I couldn't tell you.
You don't remember?
Is it 10 good or bad?
Well, zero is better.
Yeah.
To use.
So,
But if we get, before, if we had
The-
possibly before, if we had had one, we would have been hit with $200, 200, 400 and so on. But
right,
They're giving us 10.
they're giving us 10 without it. So it's good that they're giving us to us, especially this first year.
10
But,
millions.
but if, yeah, exactly.
Again, what did we pay and what did we pay in 2020?
I'd have to get back to you when we come back with, I didn't do too much more work on it because I was asking you to table it.
Okay,
Figured I'd come back with some
All right.
question, but that's a question I'll come back with an answer.
perfect, thank you.
Anything else? Is there a motion to table?
I'll make a motion to table the 2021 to 2023 Baker Tilly contract.
Is there a second?
I second.
Second by Linda Beal. No discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Item B, discussion and possible action regarding potential rollover of unused employee vacation time.
Right, so we have 2 of our department heads that have vacation time that they will lose if the board so chooses not to act further on. I did not put this in the packet. I sent it to you earlier, just due to the fact of the names and such on it. So due to COVID, Joe's vacation was canceled. He has 103 hours remaining. Subtracting the 80 hours of rollover, he would lose 23 hours or 837.66. Joe has been helping take the lead with parks while John has been out, and he's as well as taking care of his duties. If the board prefers to roll over Joe's 23 hours, he'd have 223 hours, almost 28 days of vacation to use in 2021. Due to COVID and moving to the interim chief position, Michelle has 25 hours of vacation with the allowable 80 hours of vacation time rollover. She would lose 43.25 hours. Now, the reason I mentioned the moving to interim is because she changed her benefits from 12 hours to 8 hours, which increased that number of vacation hours. So if the board prefers to roll over Michelle's hours of 43.25, she will have 283 hours, just over 35 days of vacation to take in 2021 with her new position. The cost of the payout at 100% would be our fiscal impact would be $1,902.48, which I believe can be absorbed in our payroll budget for 2021. I'm suggesting we use their current 2020 salaries and not the increase on them for the payout. There is no fiscal impact if you choose to not roll over any of the anything over 80 hours. So I've given you three possibilities. One, to approve a payout due to 100%. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't change it to something else, but 100% of the vacation hours over 80, using their 2020 salaries at a cost no greater than 1902.48. Or a motion to approve a rollover of vacation hours over 80 for both of them. Or you can say how many hours you're willing to allow rollover or deny the whole request. So
Okay.
my first option or my first request was for payout because I don't think they're going to be able to take the number of hours to use all of their vacation in the next 12 months.
My option would be to pay it out.
Mark?
I guess I would look to allow some flexibility with this, given the situation that our staff faced for the year. I guess my caveat would be is if they waited to pay out, they could wait to pay out till 2022's first check under their current wage, so they wouldn't essentially get a pay raise on top of carrying over the wage. And some may choose to use it during the year, some may choose not to, but I would ask that we allow them that option. I
So
think,
use it or get it paid out at the end of this year we're in now,
right, but not under a new wage,
under 2020.
under a 2020 wage.
So either one could use up their vacation or get paid out at the 2020 rate.
Yeah, I think they could somewhat use some extra time in the new year, but it's not to establish a new policy of allowing.
And that's correct for payout. And that's why I made it very specific that the motion would say that it was due to COVID. So I don't think we're going to have a COVID situation every year, hopefully, or another pandemic other than COVID that comes by. But that's why I made it very, very narrow in scope. So.
Any preference, Becky?
Did you ask them for their opinion at all?
Actually, I spoke with Michelle on either or. I did not speak with Joe because I brought Joe into the fold because I felt if one asked for it, I need to ask for across the board of my department heads. If I was going to ask for a payout, I would ask for it for both or any kind of anything the board was willing to do. He expected he was going to lose it. So I was coming to you to ask for his not
I
being.
think he's on Zoom right now, isn't he?
He's gone in and out. I believe he,
So this is just the over 80, they're gonna roll over 80 hours. anyway.
Automatically, right.
Okay, but this is just the 23 and the 43.
Correct.
I would say we pay them all.
Just a question.
Mhm.
None of the rollover is a double rollover, correct? There's no rollover that they already rolled over?
Not that I'm aware of.
They all use more than 2 weeks vacation.
Yes.
That's what it comes down to.
What about the other employees? Is
They
this-
didn't have any that were over 80. These were the only two of the, of all of our employees that have rollover that was,
Okay.
I mean, a lot of them are rolling over at 80 and under, but these are the only two that would have lost.
Doug?
I like Mark's idea of giving them the choice, although I think paying them out would be the best option. They just keep accumulating these hours, they're not gonna use them up. And I know on the fire department, we've lost hours most years because there was no way we could even leave the fire department unmanned, you know? And I'm sure that's the same thing with Joe, with running the department, you know, they can't really use those hours. It never really happens.
You said, Michelle, your preference is the payout?
Honestly, either one, but I mean, if possible to pay out, yeah.
Generally, no, they're considered salary though, aren't they? They're not hourly.
That's correct, but we take their pay and divide it out by the number of hours.
Because I know with most jobs though, and it's nothing against this, I'm just saying, a lot of times from your salary, you just put in how many hours is necessary, generally, that's it.
But our department heads do get a number of days of vacation. They don't just take days off whenever they feel their work is done. They still are expected to put in the hours as well as take vacations when limited vacations due to their number of years of service.
Joe says he'd take the payout.
That's what I
That's
thought.
his preference.
It's hard to use, 6 weeks,
Yeah.
5 weeks.
My preference, if you're willing, like Michelle, I'd rather just pay out.
And the bookkeeping.
I'm okay with an option too, but
Yeah.
Payouts better.
honestly, I mean, especially the fire department. I mean, I know how things went this last year,
Yeah.
and we are 6-7 months from being out of this
Yeah.
at a minimum, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
With Michelle taking on that extra responsibility, I wasn't sure if she was going to get in the rest of her vacation as it is for next year. So taking on another 43 hours, I wasn't sure if she'd be able to take that much time off.
And the bookkeeping would be harder for the
Yeah.
staff.
You had, so there's nobody else, I mean, it's not just
Just the
department,
two
so
of
there's
them.
nobody else that had any kind of
Yep.
carryover.
That's correct. Otherwise, I would have brought them forward as well.
Is there WRS impacts on this for the two employees that they're?
Well, they'll get paid out on payroll. So yes, they would earn that amount on WRS.
But the earners
But
for
either
this
way, we
year-
would have.
But it's
I
the
mean,
same
we
as
would
if they
have
took a
paid it.
vacation.
Right,
You
I'm
still
just
get-
saying, they have to report it on, they're gonna report it on last year's, correct?
No, we would
It'll
pay
go
them
this
this year because we can't pay them last year, but we're gonna pay them their wage, same wage this year.
So it'd be like a supplemental check
Right.
essentially.
Mhm.
Okay. Hearing that they're both okay with being paid out, are you good with the payout, Mark?
I would still give them the option, I mean, given the COVID time, but I'm not gonna cry over just one option.
Okay. Well, we'd be looking for a motion then.
I make a motion that we pay out Joe and Michelle the number of hours that's laid out for them.
Due
I
to
second.
COVID.
Her, due to COVID.
Can we specify the hours for?
Okay, let me see. Michelle has 23.25 hours.
43.25,
It's
What does that
43.
say?
23.
Oh, gee, sorry. 43.25 and Joe, oh, wow, 200
No,
and
no, no.
No,
No,
no.
he has 23.
23. Okay,
Motion is to approve payout due to COVID. 100% of vacation hours over 80 using their 2020 salaries at no cost,
so
at a cost no greater than $1,902.48. Is that what I heard?
that's it. That's what I said.
All right, perfect.
I'll second that motion.
All right, Mark seconds that motion. Any other discussion?
No.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Item C is vouchers payable report for the period of 12/10/20 through 12/28/20 in the amount of $124,497.02.
So we have
Wow.
Arbon equipment for $16,495 in December. We also have rural mutual, $49,851.34. Verbecker, $11,366.25, and Wilds Lake Country, $13,898 as our large items for December. In December 29th through the 7th, our large items are Civic Systems for $5,420. The Humane Paws, the Humane Society, $4,400. Kunkel Engineering of $15,493. Premier Building for $21,968.66, and Waukesha County Clerk for the yearly dog license fees of $4,708.75. Asking for approval.
Any questions or comments?
I was just, do we have to split this since there was some purchases or expenses in 2020 for last year's budget?
It's split in the system. This is actually split because we did 2 pay runs, because you didn't have your second
Right,
separate meeting.
I guess to clarify my question, that second one, dated 12/29/20 through 1/7/21.
Mhm.
Do we have to split that for budget
Well,
purposes?
it is split. We're just telling you what the checks were. It is split in the system on what needs to go to 2021. A lot of the things through the 7th were payables for things that happened in 2020. So we still have the ability to move them into 2020.
Thank you.
I just have a question. What, the Humane Society,
Mhm.
that 4,400, that's in addition to the man that we pay to pick up carcasses of deer and stuff, correct?
That's correct. The dog license is specific to just Hawes.
Okay, but the 4,400 I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm talking about the 4,400 is just to go to Hawes.
Okay,
That's the Humane Society. That does not pay for our deer pickup,
okay.
gentlemen.
And how many animals usually go there?
I don't know that.
So
How
Haas
many?
or Sean's?
Pardon me?
Haas or
To
Sean's?
Hawes.
Yeah, and for the Humane Society. Mm-hmm. I was just curious.
I'm sure something we can get you.
Yeah.
This has been the same amount for like 10 years.
Yeah, yeah, I know. Okay, that's it.
Is there a
I'll
motion?
make a motion that we accept the, I'm going to say check runs for 12/15/2020 through 12/23/2020 and 12/29/2020 through 1/7/2021 in the amounts stated.
We have a second item for the second check register you just listed.
You have a
I believe.
second item?
Well, on D,
But
item
she was
D
going to
is-
take them both together, is what she was trying to do,
Okay,
make one motion.
can we do one motion for 2 items?
Sure you can.
Okay.
As long as no one objects. No board
I
members
second.
object.
All right, so this takes on
Oh,
both
you're
the,
talking about the auto pays, are you?
well, no, there's one that's for
No.
124,497.02, and then the second one was 66,380,170. And in the future, you can just put them all together.
Okay.
That way it's just one item. So we're taking all of them.
Mhm.
Motion and second is okay.
Oh, I see, I'm
Yes.
sorry, she's got it listed separately.
Yes.
Sorry.
The second's okay with it.
All right, any other discussion?
Mhm.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Item E is the monthly report of ACH and auto pays for December 2020. I believe we would need a motion to put these on file.
Take a motion to place on file.
Moved by Mark Moonen. Is there a second?
A second.
Second by Becky. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. All right, we're gonna go into closed session momentarily. I'm just gonna take a short break before we do that so that everybody doesn't have to wait around. We can talk to Michelle real quick too.
I make a
So
motion, we go into closed session.
we're gonna hold off on that just a few seconds. I'm
Okay,
gonna just postpone that before we go into that.
Just going to take a break.
Yeah, it's a short break here.
okay. Who's gonna be the
Lisa?